What your take is on Joe Biden?
His hand's on woman's hip, right? And then you take the picture and you just start writing a bunch of creepy shit about what he's doing. It's not like he went for side boob. He wasn't like sliding up. No, it's a total overreaction.
Is that the face someone makes when they're going for side boob?
I would think so, you know.
Here he's go. Conan's going for it.
I would say 13. It's ridiculous. Like that Believe women. It's like all of them.
Going around saying that 87% of the world sucks, you're not going to get one.
No, but this is the thing.
You're not going to give you one.
I can say that because there's nothing you can take away from me. What are you going to do? You're going to say I can't do stand-up in strip malls anymore? That's usually the punishment. So the genius. I was making fun of the military, you know, which you can't do now. Like thank you.
There was a lot coming from the Hillary Clinton camp that Trump is bad for children. And they had a lot of ads that said, you know, children are watching this guy.
Oh, we all know
talk.
that children 5 and 6 years old are always tuning into the debates. Taking notes. That's what I did when I was a kid. I'll never forget that. You never saw Weird Science, how creepy these nerds are? All these cameras on your phone, all of that. Do people go on Ancestry.com? Why would you send your saliva into .com? Why would you send your saliva into the internet? Why would you do that? Why don't you just go to the Illuminati and help them build your robot replacement? It's the millennials. You're a bunch of rats. All you're doing is trying to get people in trouble. That's all you're doing, taking pictures and recording people. He said this, but did you really mean that?
Well, what did you say about the military that got people so mad? Or this one guy so mad?
I was just saying, like, yeah. They're like, what is that lizard that can look at two things at once? That's what they're like. So you got to figure out a way to, like, thin out the herd, and it's too late. No, these are the hard decisions that are going to have to be made.
We're here to hear about some hard choices.
Yeah. So you know how I would do it?
What?
I would randomly sink cruise ships. Now they're going after like 100-year-old guys. My question is, when are they going to go after the horse, right? The show my wife watched where he just walks around in the background. And then it's just like, that's what I've learned.
Oh, God.
You know what makes women happy? Nothing. Nothing makes them happy, and that is why they are slowly taking over the NFL, because it annoys them that we can just sit there with like a pizza and a drink, like that's not holding, and just be like and enjoy ourselves. And then also you can't tell other people's kids not to do stuff.
Right.
So you got to kind of like be loud. It needs to come back, and that's what's holding back this country.
Yeah. 20 years, you work your way up to the front, and now still they won't let you.
Yeah, now that fat guy's considered disabled because he can't stop eating cookies. So he gets on. Look at him groaning. 90% of the world is starving to death. That guy. Eat a salad and get on the treadmill like the rest of us. We're all working out. What is the problem? The only thing I didn't like was that shot where he was playing hoop.
Yeah, it went viral, I think.
We're all working out. What is the problem? The only thing I didn't like was that shot where he was playing hoop.
Yeah, it went viral, I think. He was playing basketball and he took a shot and went in.
He was playing with his black friend that he's paying to lose. Dude, I'll tell you right now, go do a show. Third show Saturday night in a comedy club. I'm telling you, you get an unhappily married woman and an
every word.
Didn't she, for the first 5 years, have like midgets who wanted to bang their mailman's boyfriend? And she didn't want to do it. She didn't want to do it, but she didn't have the power to say no, so she wrote it out. And then when she could make a good decision, she did a show, but she stood on the heads of those little people for 5 years until she got, and then she's sitting there across from this guy like so. You know, rich kids just sit around, you know, doing blow, sitting in Ferraris. They don't do anything. It's the poor kids that they make stuff happen. So yeah, you don't get trampled grabbing your wig. You know, suspenders flying off. It's so sad. To do what? Get an above-ground pool for $30 off? There is nothing in Walmart. I don't even know where there's nothing worth getting trampled. It just makes me depressed.
Yeah.
That you would do that. And people sit out for like weeks
There's a week.
They don't even go to Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Like they're on their cell phone and their mom's crying. I just think you'd want to spend it with us. And you're sitting out there in that parking lot, feeling those people breathing down the back of your neck, just going like, knowing who you're gonna elbow. It's just the saddest.
There are women that waited 22 days at Best Buy. They waited 22 days.
And what did they get? What do you think they got? Even then, you got to know where to go in the store. Like, where is the thing that is on sale, right? Where are those mint Milano cookies or whatever they have that you're going to make a beeline for? On that linoleum floor, you're going to blow out at eat. It's the saddest thing. It's one year what people should do. You know, like Richard Branson, one of these hot air balloon rich guys, should...
Trying to pass it down to the next white dude. I hate when people do that, man. You know, it's like, dude, feel me out first. Ask some questions. Do you like to fish? Have you ever fucked your sister, right? I start rattling off answers, then you go old school. You give me a pamphlet, you tell me about your militia. Don't just dive them up. Come on up here. No, come on up here. Well, they came up there. They did, and they kicked the shit out of everybody. It was great. It was like a cartoon. You're like beating up whole rows of people at once, like... I loved every second. I love how Ron Artest punched the wrong guy. Wasn't that great? He taught that dude a valuable lesson in life. When shit goes down...
I can't wait for these elections to be over. You know? It's like enough already. Just fucking pick somebody. How many more goddamn debates are gonna be, right? 1,000 points of light, health insurance trickling down, everybody gets applesauce. Doesn't matter. I want to find an honest guy. You know what I mean? Some guy's just gonna get on TV and be like, look, in order for this... There's only so much chicken and fresh water left. If you're not in that upper third, just be honest with yourselves. You know, they should have auditions. Whatever you do, you got to audition to still be here. Right? You're a plumber, fix that sink better than 70% of the other fuckers, and that's it. Put some wrenches in your pocket, go to the beach, and out you go. Yeah, straight across the board. Dentists, comedians, I'd do it. I'd stand in a line with a bunch of clowns, right? Tumblers and shit. I wouldn't make it. I wouldn't. No, I take comfort in knowing that. There's no way I'm making it. I'm useless. I am. I'm 44. I'm not married. I don't have any kids. Why am I still here? Just another person knowing that. There's no way I'm making it. I'm useless. I am. I'm 44. I'm not married. I don't have any kids. Why am I still here? Just another person taking up space, walking into a Starbucks. Oh, Sheryl Crow CD. Right? Why am I here? I have a horrible science background. Do you know cruise ships blow my mind? Blow my mind. I don't get how something got fat people going in it. That's game, set, and match. Speaking of nerds, when is the nerd epidemic just gonna end? Like, when is the nerd bubble just gonna burst? They're fucking everywhere. Every show, they got some guy with black frame glasses. Oh, I'm kind of awkward. I don't know how to talk to the opposite sex. Like, I'm supposed to... When you get rid of a species' natural predator, it just grows exponentially. Actually, Nerd Jesus died in the last year, right? Steve Jobs. Yeah, he died, right? I know, a lot of nerds here tonight. I know, you're sad. I didn't get it. I didn't get the big deal they made about that guy. When he died, they were like, he changed the world. That's insane. He changed the world. The world was one way, and then Steve Jobs came, and it was another. What did he do? Somebody, for the love of God, what the fuck did that guy do? What did he do? He told other people what to invent? I want my entire music collection in that phone. Get on it! We're gonna get all of this into this. I mean, what year does this guy think this is? This is crazy. This is like Buck Rogers. Dude, my kid has a birthday in like 11 months. Steve Jobs just walking by. I don't hear any thinking going on in there. Just strutting around the office, eating some pretentious fruit like a pear, right? Just throwing out ideas. There's another one. I just came up with pages, you know? I like to turn pages on a screen that aren't even there. Yeah, wrap your fucking heads around that, guys. See you in 8 years. Where you going, Michael? Big, little, get on it. Right? And all these people slave away to make his vision come true. And then they have the big nerd fest, right? Down there, Comic-Con, and all their nerd mecca. They're all showing up with their Acne and their Hulk shirt. Like he's Tesla, tapping into the atmosphere. I know, this is always uncomfortable. I know, you bought into it, right? That whole advertising, the way they aligned themselves with some of the greatest people of all time. Jesus, Gandhi, me. Remember that? Muhammad Ali, John Lennon, this guy. How the fuck was that dude like any of them? Gandhi didn't have a sweatshop. He'd back through the window to have to put together yet another iPad. John Lennon didn't have children in his basement pressing those fucking albums. I know. New phone can't fit the old charger. This is your hero? This is the guy? This is what all the silence is about? New phone can't fit the old charger, so then you gotta throw it out, and new phone can't fit the old charger, so then you gotta throw it out, ends up in the ocean around some octopus's neck. Do you realize how much sea life is ecstatic that that man is no longer walking the earth? That's where it all ends up, you know. Doesn't go in a landfill, ends up in the ocean. You realize that? I hate people who say I don't pollute. I don't pollute. Yeah, you do. You use shit and you throw it out. Well, you think because you put it in like a basket, it just poof, disappears? That's where it all ends up, you know. Doesn't go in a landfill, ends up in the ocean. You realize that? I hate people who say I don't pollute. I don't pollute. Yeah, you do. You use shit and you throw it out. Well, you think because you put it in like a basket, it just poof, disappears? Everything you ever used is somewhere. You ever think about that? Remember that flannel shirt you bought back in the day when you got into Pearl Jam? That's out there somewhere. Probably on some porpoise's face. He's trying to get it. Think about that? Remember that flannel shirt you bought back in the day when you got into Pearl Jam? That's out there somewhere. Probably on some porpoise's face. He's trying to get it off. Stupid little flippers. All the fads. You remember rollerblading? Remember that? Everybody had them. We set up cones, we did little tricks, right? One little homophobic joke killed that entire fad. A homophobic joke killed that entire fad. What's the hardest thing about rollerblading? Telling your parents you're gay. Full-grown adults. Dude, I'm not gay. I don't have the cooties. These mean I suck dick. And they just threw them out. They end up in the ocean. They're made out of plastic. They can't biodegrade. They just break down to little cubes. Fish are breathing them in. 6 months later, you're going out, you're getting sushi. You think you're being healthy. They end up in the ocean. They're made out of plastic. They can't biodegrade. They just break down to little cubes. Fish are breathing them in. 6 months later, you're going out, you're getting sushi. You think you're being healthy. You're eating your old rollerblades. All right, I'm out of time. You guys are great. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. I think if you watch those, you're an idiot. I don't understand why you would sit there wasting your time. They all say the same thing. They're all like, you know, over the last 4 years, everything good that happened was because of us. And we would have done more good stuff if it wasn't for those guys. And then the Democrats go, oh, we did all the good stuff. It's like you're all working for the same guy. They bet on both horses. And then it's just kind of that guy that says, like, there's a meteor headed right towards the planet. That's the guy you vote for. You go with the psycho, because there's no way there's any corporate money behind that guy, right? Like, that guy is going to come on TV. He's going to come on TV, like, reading files from the Pentagon. Like, you know what else they're doing? Like, just freaking people out.
Wow.
Yes, I did.
Yo, do you pay attention to the election? We got a new mayor here. Bloomberg is up.
I didn't even know there was an election. I honestly don't. I don't pay attention at all.
I want my entire music collection in that phone. Get on it! Right? And then these poor, nameless, faceless scientists got to go in a back room and figure it out. How the fuck are we going to get all of this into this? I mean, what year does this guy think this is? This is crazy. This is like Buck Rogers. Dude, my kid has a birthday in like 11 months. Steve Jobs just walking by. I don't hear any thinking going on in there. Jobs just walking by. I don't hear any thinking going on in there. Just strutting around the office, eating some pretentious fruit like a pear, right? Just throwing out ideas. There's another one. There's another one I just came up with on the way to work. I was reading a magazine the other day, turning pages, you know? I like to turn pages on a screen that aren't even there. Yeah, wrap your fucking heads around that, guys!
So evidently what happened was, in World War II, old Adolf came rolling into town, okay, with his tanks with the Porsche engines in them, took over the town in like fucking 90 minutes. She freaked out. She closes up her shop, right? Figured out where all the head Nazis were staying, what hotel. She moved in there, and she started a relationship with one of the Nazis. Yeah, she started fucking a Nazi. She was sucking the dick that did that. Now, just to refresh my memory, what did Sean Connery do again? Oh, you know, every once in a while, you give him a little slap. That's what he did. She's sitting there like, hey, Adolf, what's going on? She so sold out her own country, she had to flee it at the end of the war. And I have no idea how many ever seen comes in and takes it over in a couple hours. She must have been terrified, right? And she's a woman. You know, she's into fashion. They show up with those Hugo Boss uniforms. You know, her knees buckle a little bit. Things start getting ugly. People are getting shot in the street. She's freaking out, you know. And she's a woman. And women know, push comes to shove. When you get your back against the wall, no matter how bad it gets, they always have the option of fucking learn this early on. She had the option, and she took it. I can't get mad at her for that, you know? So she's dead and gone. I think she's up there in heaven. I think she made it. She's up there with Sean Connery. Every once in a while, they have a disagreement. He gives a little slap, you know? She doesn't care. Once you shit on a Nazi's chest, I mean, a little backhand's not going to freak you out. Jesus can't say anything. He got a hooker, right? Everybody's got a... Yeah, there you go. So, still buy your Coco Chanel. She's still a hero. She was a victim. She was a victim of that time. She was frightened. She was scared. She didn't know what to do. Anyway. So, we're living in a fucking weird time. Obviously, beyond all the bullshit that's going on now. Like, every time I think feminism has kind of like... I'm just fucking with you. Feminism doesn't bug me, you know? It doesn't bother me. I'm not afraid of it or anything like that. You know, for the simple fact that I know it's going to fail, you know? And I take comfort in that. I do. I'm not rooting for it because I know it doesn't like me. Yeah. Do you know why I think it's not going to survive? Why it's not going to be successful anyways? Because they still need men's... 300 to 400 people a night for a quarter of a century. Not to mention, it's a male-subsidized league. We gave you a fucking league. None of you showed up. Where are all the feminists? That place should be packed with feminists. Faces painted, wearing jerseys, flashing their titties. Going fucking nuts like the guys do in the upper deck with their big beard titties. Am I on the Jumbotron? You know this isn't going to end well. Did he say I'm pretty? Oh my God. Get out of the relationship. If every study says that you're smarter, okay, the question you should be asking yourself was, we're so goddamn smart, how are we in the situation we're in? Well?
But you don't, and it's like, no. What I kind of learned is fucking everything is sort of a spectrum, right? Not just autism, you know? I'm sick of words getting hijacked, all right? When I was a kid, like, the spectrum was the color spectrum. Dr. J and the 76ers played in an arena called the Spectrum, right? So the first time somebody said to me, hey, my kid's on the spectrum, I'm thinking, no, he isn't. They tore that shit down in 2010. Even a case, a 12-pack, and jean shorts and a half shirt, right? And then this over here, this is like a teetotaler. Like, you know, I tried alcohol, I didn't like it. It just, you know, I've always been into books, you know? That's been my drug, you know, I like a good book, all right? And I'll tell you, when you see me reading that book, I am in that book, and I am taking that journey, right? But there's all fucking this. Like, my drinking got, like, all the way, I realized I could, but there's all fucking this. Like, my drinking got, like, all the way, I realized I couldn't have it in the house. That's what it was. I just, like, consumed it, and then I got all the way to, like, right here, right? I mean, I wasn't sucking dick, but the donut shop was over the horizon. The donut shop was in view. And I was like, what am I doing? You know what I mean? I couldn't fucking stop. But then, so then I thought I was an alcoholic. So I went to, like, an AA meeting, you know, and the people were telling their stories. And after a couple people sharing, I was just going like, all right, you know, I drink, but these people, Jesus Christ. I mean, they were animals. Yellow fingers, still smoking, chowing down pastries. And they're like, Bill, would you like to go up and share some of your stories? I was like, I can't fucking follow that. I had 3 tall bourbons and fell asleep to the Rockford Files. I don't think that's going to follow this guy, you know? I had 3 tall bourbons and fell asleep to the Rockford Files. I don't think that's going to follow this guy, you know? Missing teeth and selling his ass in the street. I can't follow that, right? But there was something going on, so I just realized, you know, like, I can't have this shit in the house. It's in the house, I'm going to fucking consume it. Alcohol, even cookies. I tell my wife, get the cookies out of the fucking house, especially Oreos. I'm going to eat a whole fucking sleeve. And she says, well, why can't you just eat? Well, eat the whole fucking sleeve, and then I won't even brush my teeth. So I'll have that sugar morphine drip, like, coming down the back of my throat, and I'll have these crazy fucking Keebler Elf dreams or whatever. Get it out of the fucking house. That's what I need to do. Right? That's what I learned. Like, I have no desire to do heroin whatsoever. However, if it was in my house long enough and the right set of circumstances came along, maybe I talked to my dad that day on the phone, tried to get a job done, and then you lose, and then he just psychologically has the advantage. But if you do it after 17, now you're just beating up an old man. You know, you see his anchor tattoo, you're like, fuck, he was in the Navy. Jesus Christ, I'm beating up a veteran. Oh, man, I feel like a piece of shit here, you know? All right, here's another one for you. I didn't think I was homophobic, right? I didn't. No, because I didn't have a problem. Like, I don't have a problem with it. I have a problem, you know, them getting married or any of that shit. And I thought it was totally natural. I was just like, that's just like how you're born. And when people would be like, oh, no, it's a choice. They're choosing to be gay. I love when somebody said that. Okay, let's say it's a choice. Then that would mean being straight is a choice, right? So that would mean that you, at some point, hypothetically, had a dick and a pussy on the table and had a choice to make. See, on the table
and had a choice to make, right? You were sitting there, all right, which way am I going to go? Well, let's see. This one hurts more, but I get to keep my house. And then this one over here feels amazing, but everything seems to disappear down into it. I mean, it's a coin flip. As far as I'm concerned, it's a coin flip. Straight edge, Geronimo, right? So I realized, like, I want a woman. What the fuck are you asking me? I don't want some man. I didn't even picture a man. I just saw a male arm from here down to here with black hair with like grease on it just coming up my back, going, okay, just breathe. And like, ah! It feels better, you fixed it. Get me the fuck out of here. Yeah, so like, I like just the image of that. I like fucking recoiled. And I was almost like defensive. I was like, no, I want a woman, right? And then, you know, the way I look, I probably in my age, I looked like some creep that was looking for a fucking happy ending. You know, you can't be in there like, no matter how I said it, it came off like, yeah, I want a woman. I want a thing. That's like a gay coming. Yeah. Yeah, thinking I'm looking for a happy ending, you know, which I wasn't. But, you know, I will say I do have issue with them calling it a full body massage. It's like, it's not a full body massage. It's everything but constraint. And that doesn't feel, it feels weird. And I know what you guys are thinking. You probably think, well, Bill, why don't you just rub one out before you go to the masseuse? It's like, because I won't make the appointment, all right? I'm going to fall asleep upright in the chair, and then my neck's going to be fucked up and my back. Now I got two problems. It would be great if they legalized it, though. You know what I mean? It'd be fantastic. You just have like a regular masseuse in there. You know, you got to have the real masseuse at the beginning, right? Because hand job, like most women, terrible hand job. Most women, terrible fucking hand job. Not even trying to get better at it either, by the way. Like the skill set. Like, you ever get this one, the 3 fingertips? Do you ever get this? It's like, what are we doing here? Are we waiting for the next lunar eclipse? Is there, what I never thought I'd say this. This is just fucking annoying. You're just like annoying when you just flick the head of my fucking dick while you're at it. What are you doing? All right? You're supposed to be simulating penetration. Oh, it'd be fantastic. I would run a massage parlor like that, like a baseball manager. I'd have the real masseuse go in, eat up about 8 innings, and then I take the lube. All right, you're done. You did a great job. Then you bring in the lefty. All right, let's get in here, right? And she comes in, gives you a hand job better than 90% of the blow jobs you ever got in your life. Then you walk out of there, your body's loose, your balls are empty, you can hear your wife's voice again, and everything's good. Now, you can hug your daughters. You got to do that. You got to do that. Hug those hooker shoes right out of them. Let them know that you're a good man and to find another man like you. You got to do that. But your son, you can hug him a little bit, but every 3-4, you got to fucking knock him down, right? Come on, it didn't hurt. Get up. Look, I didn't come from a family. I don't know about you guys. I didn't come from a touchy-feely. Call me when you get there. The one time when I finally got out in the world and I saw how other families interacted, I finally asked her one day, I was like, how come we never did the hugging thing? You know what I mean? How come we didn't do that stuff? She's like, well, I wanted to hug you kids when you were little, but I was afraid it was going to make you gay. And I was like, you were afraid? You were afraid? And then she goes, well, it was your father. That's what it was. Protecting him like I always do. He was afraid. He said, you don't know how to raise boys. And if you hug them, that's what's going to happen. So in a marriage, there's compromises. So. Hugged us because my dad said if she did, it was going to make us gay. And I got to tell you, that was a great thing that my dad did for me. Let me finish before you start blogging, okay? And I end up on a split screen on Good Morning Atlanta, you know? Comedy, kid, it go too far. Last night of the Tabernacle. Sitting there next to some fucking Cheeto-eating blogger. And maybe someday I have a kid, I'll whittle it down to like, hey, he's not taking drama class, all right? He's not taking drama class because I said so, lady! Let me handle it! I won't fix everything. Yeah, and that's not a homophobic thing either, that I wouldn't send my hypothetical son to drama class, okay? It isn't. I'd let my hypothetical daughter take a drama class, okay?
My son can't fucking do it. I don't want to do that. I want to find the fucking 8-year-old. What is he, this tall? I want to find the kid that did it to my kid, tip him upside down into some sand or a puddle, anywhere where oxygen is going to be an issue, right? And just leave him there. Right? And you wait till that one leg just starts shaking so you know he's down to his last breath. And then you turn him upside down, you're upside right, you grab him by his throat, and you just say something horrific. You ever do that again, I'm going to beat your mother to death with the family dog. Right? Over. Yeah, I got married. That's the big thing. Yes, I did. Very happy about that. I'm very happy about that because it was starting to get weird, you know? It's like 45 years old. Oh, my girlfriend. Yeah, we're going to go out and get some pop, you know? Going to parties. It was just weird because I hang out with people my age, you know, and they all got married. They all had kids. And I just couldn't contribute when people were standing around talking about marriages and kids, you know?
I saw a woman a couple months back, professional soccer player, right? She goes on to ESPN or one of these sports channels going like, I don't understand. How come female athletes don't make as much as male professional athletes? Right? And all of these men had to sit there and act like they didn't know what the answer was. They had to sit there like dumbfounded, like, I don't know. Why is that?
So we used to always have these dumbass arguments. Like one time she came up to me, she goes, okay, explain this to me, Bill. Why does a guy make more an hour to do the exact same job, huh? I go, I'll tell you why. Because in the unlikely event that we're both on a Titanic and it starts to sink, for some fucked up reason, you get to leave with the kids and I have to stay.
Hey, that's why I get the $1 more an hour. Well, think about it. If there's a house face, like he's chauvinistic son of a bitch, little short, little haircut, the whole 9 yards, right? Second those flames break out, she's gonna twist those little hairs into pigtails. No, I'm just a girl. I want to go play jump rope. And leave you standing in a burning house like you're not flammable. You know, but I'm not a dick though. I'm not saying I think a woman should make $1 less an hour to do the same job. All I'm saying is if you're gonna make like overly religious, it kind of freaks me out, you know? You know what I mean? Like I don't mind when like black people get really into Jesus though, you know? Because like somehow like the shit stays spiritual. You know, you get a couple of good songs out of it. You know what I mean? People look like they're having a good time. Somehow when like white dudes get too into Jesus, all of a sudden like shit catches on fire. People start dying, somebody says they're Jesus, and they try to fuck every chick in the compound. My girl's actually, she's really like religious. She goes to church every week, and I never go, and it freaks her out. She's like, why don't you go to church? You don't believe in God and heaven and hell and all that stuff? Why don't you go? And it's not because I don't believe in a higher power. I definitely do. My thing is when I go to church, I can't get past the fact that I'm just listening to some fucking guy. You ever think of that shit when you go in there?
No, they got too much energy for me. You notice that's it? They always have to be doing something. You know, like they can't like take a day off, you know? You can't have a day off when you have a girlfriend. They just like see that open day. They're like, oh my God, let's fucking fill it up with shit. They just come at you with like one horrible idea after another. They have the worst ideas. They do. You ever get to this one, they'll be like, you want to go to brunch? See what I'm saying? Where are all those feminists then? You can't find them. They had no feminists in a house fire. You can take the most hardcore feminists, you know, some chick right in your face, you chauvinistic son of a bitch, you know, little short, little haircut, you know. Second those flames break out, she'll twist those little hairs into pigtails. Oh, I'm just a girl. I want to go play jump rope.
Yeah, there's nothing stopping you other than the fact that you guys are just into destroying each other. No, now it's going to get quiet. I see all that sneaky shit you do. Ladies, if you could just support the WNBA the way you support a fat chick that's proud of her body and is no longer a threat to you, you know, that league would be doing better numbers than the NBA. Outside, we're in the woods. We can be honest. Just regular, who gives a fuck? Can't remember her name, looking women, right? Well, looking at these goddesses, and they had to fucking be the. How am I supposed to compete with that? You can't! How fucking arrogant are you? He's talking about body issues. That's the dumbest one ever. When they talk about Hollywood, going like, Hollywood, they create these impossible body images, blah, blah, blah. You know, that whole thing, the plus-size actress, right? The fatties, you know? That's like a big thing. They're sick of being treated like fat people. I don't know what it is they're doing. They're going on the cover of magazines now, just like showing how fat they are, wearing a little bit amount of clothes. And everybody's like hyping them up, like, oh my God, that's so brave. I don't know why, though. Why? They're not a race. They're not a religion. It's totally curable. Eat an apple and go for a walk. You know? Why are you yelling at everybody else? The fuck are you giving me shit for? All right? You put the cookies in there. I didn't. How is this my problem? Jesus Christ, you ate your way in, you can walk your way out. Lights out, curtains drawn until at least 2 in the afternoon before I can even look at you, you fucking piece of shit. Yeah, you're supposed to have no shame? That's the new world? You're just gonna walk around sucking dick, you know, eating cookies, and just show up, and nobody's supposed to say anything? No one's supposed to have an opinion? Like, wow, that's gonna go off the rails pretty soon. I know, it's probably mean to do this stuff, but like, you can only have so much and then disappeared into the crowd like Hannibal Lecter at the end of Silence of the Lambs. It's one of the most heartbreaking things I've ever seen in my life. And then I come back to my country and it's like, oh, the studio said I had to lose 15 pounds to star in a movie. Well, then start running, you fat fuck. That's your big complaint in life? You know what it is? You know what it is? You know what it is about these fatties? You know what it really is? It's a fucking miserable experience. Just walking around, your whole body's eating yourself. You know, you want some cake? No, just take a salad. Balsamic vinaigrette on the side, no croutons. Oh my God, when is the photo shoot? I want to kill myself. It's horrible. You ever try to get fat? No. You don't have to. It's effortless. You can
age where, you know, pretty soon I'm just, you know, I gotta pick a street. Either I'm gonna get married, you know, or I'm just gonna be in that creepy old guy hanging out in a bar, you know, red chest hair hanging out. No, seriously, I don't know what's wrong with me. I just, I think I just stayed single too long, man. It's just brutal. There's a critical point when you stay single too long and when your brain switches from, you know, like, you know, don't say that to her. Fuck it. And they'll just stand right next to it. They don't even have the decency to run away. They'll, like, light your clothes on fire. They're like, ta-da, I did that shit. Oh, yeah. And I was so proud of my work, I stuck around to see your reaction. I invited a couple of friends to heckle you as you tried to stomp it out with your bare feet. Oh, yeah, they'll, like, key your car, sign their name. Susan did this shit. And you're sitting like, now, can I at least put her in a headlock, give her a couple of...
What's going on here?
Mushrooms, baby. The shrooms. I'm shrooming.
How fucked up this is. He's shrooming, and he's wearing pants like he went riding a horse today. Like side saddle or some shit.
I'm just going to tell you how I discovered you.
I do owe my whole career to you. Yeah. I was struggling until Bobby Lee discovered me.
Oh, no, not discover you in terms of like, what is it going to...
This is when things start to happen.
I'm not going to allow this to happen.
Reversal.
I'm not going to allow this to happen.
Reversal.
Yeah. I'm just going to plug away. You know what I mean?
Listen, you can talk to him all you want. I can hear it.
Did you guys see the picture of Donald watching his wife vote?
A lot of trust in that relationship.
See if something great has happened to you. And
Yeah.
in this case,
Yeah, the Red Sox won the World Series.
Yeah,
I know. Not,
but then if you like,
I don't do that. I don't go to the stadium, posing stadium, wear the other team's stuff.
You had
and
no
then
Red
turn around
Sox.
and look at the crowd and do that. Whenever I see that, I'm just like, that guy should get the kicked out of him. And like, in a perfect world, that happens. I used to wear stuff, the opposing team stuff, because I moved away from Boston, but I just got sick of it. And it's not even being in the stands. It's when you go to the bathroom. That's the worst. Yeah, some guy knows. Yeah, you go out to the bathroom, they wait till you're doing your thing, and then they push you in they take out their childhood on you, and you got this bullseye on your head, and it's just like, why am I doing this? What am I, Steven Seagal? I'm gonna fight all these guys with my out. You made that movie, right? I think you made a movie like that, so I'm just like, I am a very courteous fan.
So if somebody said I had blood in my stool, they don't actually see blood; they see it's black.
Right. So the higher up in your GI,
Wait,
the blacker.
wait, it's black.
Right. So the higher up in your GI,
Wait,
the blacker
wait,
it is.
what sort of background do you have?
I was a nurse.
Oh, okay. So, wow. Because you really came off like, I was like, no, this happens a lot on podcasts. All of a sudden, I'm listening to a comedian like telling me how my liver works. I'm just like, wait a minute, who the fuck are you again? Okay, I'm sorry. All right, so you're a nurse. All right.
You know, like when feminists go like, oh, and they have like their missiles, these dick-shaped things, and blah blah blah. And I'm always thinking like, well, there is physics.
Wait a minute, who the fuck are you again? Okay, I'm sorry. All right, so you're a nurse. All right.
You know, like when feminists go like, oh, and they have like their missiles, these dick-shaped things, and blah blah blah. And I'm always thinking like, well, there is physics and aerodynamics and all that involved. Like if you have it shaped like a twat, I don't think it's gonna make. I don't think it's gonna make it to another country unless you frisbee it, right? And even then, that gap's gonna fucking be a lot of drag.
While people are talking about eating fake pussies.
That was before. That was before. Gonna fucking be a lot of drag.
While people are talking about eating fake pussies.
That was before.
I don't want to be responsible for that shit. I didn't. But if the kid was in the fucking building.
Before. Will you shut up? Jesus fucking Christ!
Is that a Rolex?
Yes, it is. I finally bought one. 25 years in this business.
Is it white gold or stainless?
I don't know what it is.
Is it heavy?
No.
Then it's stainless.
Oh, is that what it is?
Well,
thank you. Thank you for
8-foot pool down at the bottom and not clearing your ears. I feel bad for your wife.
You know what because the older guys, Robert Kelly's and all that, they all call you Billy. Colin calls you Billy, but I fucking Bill.
I'm
you know
just
what I mean?
immediately noticing that I don't know about the chain if it's thick enough to be that level of confidence.
But
it's more of a necklace.
When the chain's out,
he has on a fat chick ankle bracelet around his fucking neck.
Around. Most looking. They're all banging in the same pool. They're like a bunch of Dalmatians that can talk.
That's right. You're whatever incognito. You're an enigma.
What, because I make a pie? No, you know what it is? You're not a good listener. You've known me for 10 years. You have no idea who I am. It's all about comedy with you and moving up the ladder and pushing people.
Now, are you getting out of an existing house? No,
I'm going from a one-bedroom apartment, and I figured I'd finally go out and buy a damn house. And not have, it's like 3 days. They flip out for 3 days. They try to bully you into an apology.
Well, you can't ignore them when they're right in the audience and you're playing to them.
You tell them to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, believe me.
It's a comedy
show.
Trump's winning New Hampshire. Hillary's winning Virginia.
Really?
And there's a little kid here.
Yeah, somebody decided it was a good idea.
Somebody please take a photo of this Last Supper.
That's how you end it.
There we go, right?
Yeah.
I always give the same. Mine is all area codes. They go, what's your phone number? I'm like, 323-818-2125.
We've never taken a break in the middle of a guest.
I know. I had all this momentum going. Now I got to start all over again. Go ahead. Go to the card. See this? We won game one. Here comes the second of the doubleheader.
If I could work with anybody dead or alive, I'd want to work.
Greatest person I've ever seen in my life.
Yes. served me well. I've never worked for anything. Yeah, I was born on a yacht. It's just all been downhill.
I don't even mean it in. I don't mean it in a genetic way. I mean like
I do. I'm talking full-on white privilege. I was stunned when I first heard about white privilege. I had no idea what it was. It's like, hey, everybody doesn't get to do this.
It seems as if the sun is.
See you tomorrow.
This dude is knocking it out of the park. He's one of my favorites. Here is Bill Burr. Look at you.
How are you?
Oh, it's
I
good.
love that you did the audience applause for everybody. Yeah, there he is. Come on. Keep it going for him.
It was really, you relate to adults differently, people that you knew forever. And I always hated when somebody who didn't have a kid goes, you don't get it, man. You don't get it till you have. And I was like, fuck you, I get it. It's like having a dog. Get it till you have. And I was like, fuck you, I get it. It's like having a dog, but it's more intense.
I love the racist white guy thing. A bunch of racist white guys. They came out of the forest, and they were just going, Trump, Trump, Trump. It's like, where were all these racist white guys the last two elections when they could have voted against a black guy? They were fine. Oh, I don't mind the black guy, but this white lady, we got to stop her. She's going to take her four-wheeler.
Work. Let me see if these ones will work. Hold on a second.
No, they work good.
My headphones aren't working for me, though.
Oh, okay.
Discovered you.
I do owe my whole career to you. I was struggling until Bobby Lee discovered me.
Oh, no, not discover you in terms of like you did it on your own, obviously, but no, in terms of my awareness of you.
Oh.
Can I tell you that story?
Oh, no, I remember it was a big day in my career. Bobby Lee is finally covered me.
Oh, no, not discover you in terms of like you did it on your own, obviously, but no, in terms of my awareness of you.
Oh.
Can I tell you that story?
Oh, no, I remember it was a big day in my career. Bobby Lee is finally aware of me. Am I on Bobby Lee's radar?
See, this is what he's going
to do. This is when things start to happen.
See, I'm not going to allow this to happen.
Reversal.
I'm not going to allow this to happen.
Reversal.
Yeah. I'm just going to plug away. You know what I mean?
Listen, you can talk to him all you want. Am I on Bobby Lee's radar?
See, this is what he's going to do.
This is when things start to happen.
See, I'm not going to allow this to happen.
Reversal.
I'm not going to allow this to happen.
Reversal.
Yeah. I'm just going to plug away. You know what I mean?
Listen, you can talk to him all you want. I can hear it.
Did you see my Adam Sandler interview?
Kevin Nealon. Dude, people told me that you fanned out so bad. This is how much I love you. This is how much I love Bert Kreitzer.
Did you see my Adam Sandler interview?
Kevin Nealon. Dude, people told me that you fanned out so bad. This is how much I love you. This is how much I love Bert Kreitzer. When you were like this, hang on a second. Hang on, Adam, hang on a second. I have a story I want to tell. Porn, I got to have a childhood. Can you imagine if that shit was around when I was, oh my God, I can't, like these kids nowadays, it's like they're 8 years old and the brain damage they have, it's like they've been on the. I have a story I want to tell. Porn, I got to have a childhood. Can you imagine if that shit was around when I was, oh my God, I can't, like these kids nowadays, it's like they're 8 years old and the brain damage they have, it's like they've been on the Vice Squad for like 40 years.
You're not glad, but like the two interviews are H3H3 and Theo Vaughn, where everyone's like, did you see that interview? And by the way, knowing you, I don't see anything wrong with the interview.
I had a great time with the Theo Vaughn thing. I don't know what the fuck happened with that.
I don't know either.
His reaction, that guy read, and they totally make a completely different interview that didn't even happen.
Oh, yeah, you don't have to tell me about that. That's all my interviews.
Yeah, so why would you watch that shit? I don't watch
it. I watch it, but I don't know, but that doesn't.
You know what? Fuck you, Bert.
They're going to cut this up now.
It's funny because like even I have to admit, like I've discovered a couple of comics that I love that could be, Republicans or whatnot, right? They're not out, but you hear rumors. And my initial response is,
what is wrong with that?
I know. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yes, they're not out.
Yeah.
They're not out as Republicans.
No, they keep their stuff private is what I meant.
Yeah, because liberals are out of their fucking.
I understand that.
Yeah,
but
good Lord.
Listen to my fucking point, though.
Okay.
Let me finish my point. Okay. My initial reaction is like, right, but it's like, no, it's. Well, I'm just gonna make up a name. It's Joey. He's a good guy. Let me finish my point. Okay. My initial reaction is like, right, but it's like, no, it's. I'm just gonna make up a name. It's Joey. He's a good guy. You know what I mean? It's like, it has nothing to do with we're in it. Just listen, Bill. Right? We're in a volatile
I just love how judgmental the left is. You don't know anything about. Oh, he's a good guy.
Dude, it's like messing with my whole. I had this big discussion with my wife last night talking about the irresponsibility of religion.
What would annoy me listening to the person trying to make it sound interesting? You know, with the inflection, with the inflections and the voice and stuff.
That would annoy you?
Yeah. Because I'm defensive. I'm like, this guy thinks I'm a fucking moron. Where it's just like, and then in 1862.
So funny.
Read it like a bailiff. Read it like a bailiff.
Like a bailiff.
Dude, I remember. You know why I have that reference? And the Boston. And the guy goes, fucking Boston, huh? You want to get out of the car? And I was like, yeah, I wasn't a jerk. Funny, I was standing there. There's all like these people who mug people, and they were like laughing, like, oh, this guy's sticking it to the man, you know? So we pulled the defendant over. After repeatedly asking the defendant to stay in the car, he got out of the car, threw his keys at my feet. So we pulled the defendant over. After repeatedly asking the defendant to stay in the car, he got out of the car, threw his keys at my feet, and repeatedly stated, "Lock me up, I'm fucked up." And this was funny. Do you remember the guy who was fucking... he would do his shot, and when anybody would puke, he would stand over in the corner and not face them. He was facing the corner, so we started calling him... Everybody got there. So I'm crying, laughing, and then gagging as I'm telling the story. She was like, where do they find these people? And then that just set me over the top. I was like, I don't know. Just crying, laughing. But God bless them.
The reason why that thing's screaming is because it's biting its back. Okay, that's enough. That
sounds like me trying to touch my toes every morning. All right, I'm going to let you introduce the next topic. I don't know where to go with that guy's fucking... Maybe you got eaten by a bear.
Like, if you get a hold of a regular neck, regular necks just comply. They just give in.
Can you please call your next special Regular Neck? I guarantee no one's going to try and accidentally take that title. Dude, I remember there was a fucking guy on the site. I swear to God, he wore the same fucking jeans every day with, like, no underwear, right? And it had a fucking giant... Look at your fucking... First of all, he's walking around with like a goddamn nail gun. Not like boxers could stop that, but any extra layer of clothing that you could have. This guy's literally like his fucking shit, you know, like an owl looking out of a tree. And yet it's burned into my head.
His dick.
I could pick his junk out of a lineup.
No. All those people are paying to be there. That guy is making...
I wonder if there's somebody out there scalping tickets.
And he does Vegas, too. He does the fucking T-Mobile Arena.
Is his eyes open or no?
Smiling and shit. It's crazy. It's a lot of money that guy's making.
I used to say, he's so full of shit, he can't look at the crowd. That's why his eyes are like, are they still here? Are they still believing this shit? Yeah, when you're lying, eye contact is the toughest fucking thing ever. But whatever, he's making people feel good. And he's making his fuck. He's in show business. I want to see the show though. The few times I did movies, everybody told me you just missed it. You fucking missed it. It all missed it. You fucking missed it. It all ended in 05, 06, and I started getting work in like fucking 09, 2010. They were like, oh my God, they fucking pay for John Travolta's jet fuel. He coming in his own fucking, you know, to do like one of those Hogs movies, like riding on a motorcycle. He'd be, okay, you got to pay for my 747. They're like, oh, John, goes without saying. If somebody swipes your credit card number, that's their money. So then they call you up and they just go, hey, Joe, did you buy a ham? If somebody swipes your credit card number, that's their money. So then they call you up and they just go, hey, Joe, did you buy a ham hock in fucking Vancouver at a strip club? Why, no, I didn't. I was in Burbank. Good luck with that. Whatever.
Has anybody ever bought a ham hock in a strip club?
Dude, you've given me every piece of the fucking elk except that.
I've got some ham hock for you.
What do you fantasize about doing to him?
Oh, no, just running away. I don't want to hurt him. The guy's hurt by life. He's so damaged by life. He's so damaged by life. I don't want to do anything to him. I just want to get the fuck away.
I always picture those people, and I have a giant roll of duct tape. And I just put it on it's like a cartoon level speed. No, it's cartoon level. I just put it on their mouth and I go, and the last one, it comes up and over their head, and then it hangs down. The whole rest of the tape is hanging down over their head.
Awkwardly.
And then I just go back to eating or whatever, and they just sit there and slowly, because she would start laughing.
Hi, everyone. I'm Ivanka Trump. She looks like Tracy Lord's sister in the 80s.
He's got good-looking kids.
He does.
He does.
Amazing.
She's good-looking, too.
She's amazing.
Hey, good for him.
Good for him.
Good for him. And if Bill Clinton wants to vaguely look in the direction of a beautiful woman.
I don't know. I'm good at this. I fuck up my personal life all the time now. I really do. You know? I'm afraid to get married, man. Why man wouldn't be afraid to get married at this point? You know, look at Kobe. Look at the shit he's going through right now. Right? Guy's getting a divorce. His wife's going to get $70 million. Never hit a layup in her life. You know, can anybody explain these divorce settlements? Can anybody make sense of these fucking things? Tiger Woods. I really do. You know, I'm afraid to get married, man. Why man wouldn't be afraid to get married at this point? You know, look at Kobe. Look at the shit he's going through right now. Right? Guy's getting a divorce. His wife's going to get $70 million. Never hit a layup in her life. You know, can anybody explain these divorce settlements? Can anybody make sense of these fucking things? Tiger Woods' wife, $250 million. She's a babysitter worth $250 million fucking dollars. You know, can anybody explain these divorce settlements? Can anybody make sense of these fucking things? Tiger Woods' wife, $250 million. She's a babysitter worth $250 million fucking dollars. Somebody, go ahead. Somebody, explain, justify it. Justify it. What, he cheated on her? I don't give a fuck. Yeah, I don't give a fuck. He cheated on her. Great, the relationship's over right then. Kobe cheated, right? Shouldn't that relationship been over right then? Why did she hand everybody had to wear for an entire month the most effeminate color they could possibly come up with? All my heroes are going down. Arnold Schwarzenegger, another great man. Another great man. Taken down by that gold-digging whore of a maid he's got. And I'm not saying he's not a piece of shit for doing what he did. It was a piece of shit move. But how come only he got chastised? What about the maid? Why was she called the maid? And then what happens? The smoke clears. Then all these trolls come out of the woodwork and start judging this great man. All these fatties, these fucking old guys who never got any with their jowls, coming on TV, absolutely reprehensible behavior. What kind of a public servant? His legacy is shrouded. Like they have any idea what it's like to be tempted at that level, right? Like they have groupies as they waddle out to their Mercury Tracer. Times what you need. I'm on my third attempt at Rosetta Stone Spanish, right? How can I judge these guys? I can barely handle the temptations of Facebook. I'm going to judge Tiger Woods. I golf. I don't walk off the 18th hole and there's a busload of Scandinavian women waiting to fuck my brains out. Sorry, ladies, gotta go home to the wife, right? No, it kills me. And there's no help out there for guys. There isn't. There's nothing out there to help you handle becoming rich and famous. There's nothing out there to help you handle becoming rich and famous. There's nothing to prepare you for that platoon of whores that's going to form on the horizon, right? Like Braveheart, faces painted, skirts on, will run down the hill, they'll jump on your dick in front of your wife. They don't give a shit. It's not even a handbook out there. I saw one article written about it on the cover of Time magazine. It said, why do so many rich, famous, and powerful men act like absolute pigs, right? And the article was actually written by a woman. That's like me writing a book, The Third Trimester, and What to Expect. Ladies, you're gonna feel a pressure. How the hell would I know? You don't want to hear that from me, right? Then why is this woman telling me what it's like to have a dick? That makes no sense. You have no idea what it's like to have a dick. 24/7. Do it. Fuck it, do it. That's what it's saying. Do it. Yeah, do it. That's how we survived as a species. Every man in here is programmed to fuck 85% of the women in this room. Right? Yeah, we are. I'm sick of that shit. That's what the law says. 100 years ago, I could beat you with a fucking mop handle. I'd be like, well, that's what the law says. Doesn't make us right. No, it's unreal. And all this shit's going down, and we're not doing anything. What are we doing? Same old shit. Sitting around watching Shark Week, all right? Watching shit about poisonous snakes half a world away, just filling your head up with all this useless information. What to do if you come face to face with a Bengal tiger? Don't look at it, don't look away. Slowly back up as you push your friend forward, right? Yeah, there's nothing stopping you other than the fact that you guys are just into destroying each other. No, now it's going to get quiet. I see all that sneaky shit you do. Ladies, if you could just support the WNBA the way you support a fat chick that's proud of her body and is no longer a threat to you, you know, that league would be doing better numbers than the NBA. Why don't you do me a favor? Try this shirt on. You're like, okay. How come the sleeves are so long? Oh, because we're going to tie your arms behind your back because you're out of your fucking mind. That's it. I'm not going to have you out here scaring the shit out of people. Get in the fucking van. Then you got in the van, and that was it. They send you to a nut house. That's it. Boom, bam, done. Nut house. But the problem was the people at the nut houses started fucking the patients because everybody